Hey Planty family, it's Maricelis here, botanical bruja, shop owner, collector, plant obsessed person. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm really happy to have you. This video is going to be fun, something that I've been thinking about doing for a while. But I'm finally going to do my Milsbo Low plant tour. So I got my Milsbo Low, I want to say September time, and it's already full to the brim. I could probably put some like smaller plants on my grid, but honestly, I have so many plants. I am a little bit overwhelmed by my collection at this point. Just a little side note that this is a safe, welcoming, affirming space. Good vibes only. And so if you don't have good vibes to offer, please feel free to not watch my videos, not support. I'd prefer that. I just really want this to be a place where it's safe and comfortable and good vibes. I guess since it's in frame, we can start with my Monstera dubia. I did pick this up. So what's interesting now that I am registered as a small business owner and have access to wholesale greenhouses, the market prices versus wholesale prices are really interesting. And additionally, the wholesale greenhouse that I source from has a reputation of being a little more costly. And frankly, I'm okay with that because I think that they have great quality plants and a great selection of things. In addition, they're also it's like a family owned business, but they've expanded a lot and they have a really large team. So I don't have a problem with, folks paying what they think that their goods are worth, especially when they have to pay their workers, right? Like sustainable wages. So I really like them, and they have a great selection. However, I did buy this one from Logi's greenhouse, not as a small business owner, but just as a regular customer of theirs. So it wasn't a wholesale price, and so it was pretty pricey. I believe it was like $50. And when I got it, it was I think it was only up to here. So the base of it, I know you can't see it, but the base is like that big. So, yeah, but it's shingling really nicely. I'm really excited for it to kind of climb this plank. And honestly, I doubt that by the time it reaches the top of this plank, it'll have fenestrations. I would be kind of amazed, but you never know. And it is rooting, the aerial roots are kind of clinging to the plank, which is awesome. I did have to course correct it. It started veering off of the plank, so I had to put a thumbtack here to try to get it going the other direction again. But yeah, I also did used to have this Hoya umbricata in here. I just don't have space. So I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do with that, because when I got it, I had it on a different plank and I had moss on the plank and that started rotting. And so I did throw a section of the plant away. And I think my Milsbo is just frankly this, my Milsbo low especially. This one is not as weather stripped as my tall, and so it definitely has less humidity, and I think it really wants more humidity. And so I really want it to be like a nice shingling, like Hoya umbricata, like full, but I'm just not there with it. Everyone say hi to Olive. This is my son, my firstborn, my only child. My sweet boy. He's about 2.5. I think I've shown him on my channel before. Oh, he wants to get down. He did eat recently. So Olive doesn't poop every day. It takes him a while to digest his food, but he definitely has pooped on me before. So I do get nervous sometimes taking him out. Sweet boy. Yeah, I love Olive. I just wanted him to say hi. I want more animals, but right now, Olive's all I can afford financially and mentally. You know what I mean? My plant collection is so big, like it is really getting to the point where it's overwhelming. And so I'm just trying to figure out what, I'm gonna do about that.
So, we're gonna start with this baby. My ring of fire. My fluid engine ring of fire. I was frankly late to the game when I got it. But I love it. I My only issue is that it's getting Olive is just jumping around. Um my only issue is that it's getting fairly huge. So I just don't have a lot of space to give it the kind of space that it wants. It was in my cabinet. I took it out today when I was doing some rearranging. But yeah, so this fluid engine's really cool if you don't have one yourself. I think I got pretty lucky. The variegation is pretty nice on it. When I got it, the variegation is actually like more yellowish orange, which is really cool. But it kind of fades into a more light green type of vibe. As you can see, like on this new growth, it's a little more orangey, which is cool. But I found out recently, and like, please don't quote me on this because I just saw it in passing and I didn't like do any additional research. But I saw that Ring of Fire is actually like a hybrid of something, some fillet engine crossed with a toy, which like I thought was pretty cool and totally makes sense because of the kind of like ripply leaves. Um, I do love a good totem too. And so Ring of Fire is also really cool because I like to think of it as kind of a dupe or more cost-friendly um, plant in comparison to the philodendron caramel marble. Because that is a plant that I would really do a lot for. You know, I would really, and I've seen it on Take a Plant, Leave a Plant a couple of times, which is awesome. And I think about it a lot. But I just don't have the funds because I spend a lot of money on plants, and so that's just one that it's similar enough to the Ring of Fire that I'm like, one day, just not right now. You know what I mean? I don't even have the space. I don't even have the space. That's the other thing. So, yeah. As you can see, wait, I don't know if you can see, but there's a ladybug rolled up in a little, unfurling leaf. And so I do use predatory mites as pest control. I get them from Nature's Good Guys, and they typically when you
order like over certain thresholds or spend a certain amount, they give you free ladybugs, which are also a form of beneficial mites, bugs. Mites kind of creeps me out, that word. Anyway, and I typically don't use them because they're bigger and they just get everywhere. And when I was in undergrad, one of the dorm halls that I lived in, actually it was my freshman year, like there was a infestation of ladybugs. So like I know ladybugs are kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how they reproduce, but they do quickly, I believe. Anyway, so I just associate it with that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna release them in my house. So I put them in my greenhouse tent, which I typically use for plants that I'm selling. That's where I keep those plants. And I was like, well, it's all zipped up, like they won't get out. They're definitely getting out. They're definitely getting out and just around my apartment. Which honestly, like, the way that I think of it is like it's nature. It's really not that gross when you think about it. And it's helping me actually with my phobia of bugs. So I do have like a weird thing. I like select bugs. I like isopods, which aren't bugs, but bug-esque. But spiders, I definitely like. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. And like I said, I feel like I got a lucky one. Not all of them are high variegation. And this one's like kind of, it's not high, but it's definitely better than other ones that I've seen. So I feel lucky. Okay. Let's open up the cabinet. Ignore anything that looks messy, aka under my cabinet. I use it for storage. So I am new to moss pulls. I've heard horror stories, so I've stayed away from for a long time. But I feel like I'm at a point where I'm ready to try it out. I'm ready to see, if I can do it. Because I want some of my plants to size up. I really do. Especially, oh my God, I had a really bad experience this morning, but I'll get into that later. So, where do we start? Okay. And this cabinet is recovering from, I did find some thrips in here, so pray about it. And I am at this point using a mix of diatomaceous earth and predatory mites to control pests. I am done with chemical sprays and insecticidal stuff. I mean, like, I don't want to say I'm done because maybe one day I'll really, really need it in a pinch. But I'm really trying to stay away. And I know a lot of people feel very strongly about like pest management and their plant collections, and I get it. But for me, I am trying to go a more natural route, especially because of Olive. Like, I don't want to be spraying stuff and, the two of us are kind of inhaling it. That just kind of stresses me out a little bit. So anyway, this is what I'm going to say is my philodendron campo. That's what I would say it looks like most. It was sold to me as a philodendron Milano, but it's definitely not. But regardless, I didn't have a campo, so I'm not mad. This one was sold to me. No, this one was a trade. I traded someone. They traded me like this and Pathos Srila for, I think, an Alocasia Cuprea. Yeah. Red Secret. Which those are beautiful. Love those. So anyway, that one's my philodendron cambo. For care, I mean, pretty like resilient, you know. This cabinet does get underwatered sometimes, but this one is pretty, hardy. The leaves will just get a little limp when it wants water, but it'll perk up once you give it water. Like I said, this one you can definitely see the diatomaceous earth on some of the leaves. And in my experience, like I remember watching a wild fern video, shout out wild fern, love wild fern, where she explained that she has had an easier time washing off diatomaceous earth in comparison to something like sulfur, which I do have experience with both. I will say sulfur is definitely hard to get off the leaves, but I think in my experience, diatomaceous earth has also been hard to get off the leaves. I've definitely rinsed my plants off several times and there's still residue. So maybe it's just like the amount that I've kind of diluted, like the amount of water I've diluted it with is more like less than what other people are using. And so I'm not sure, but yeah. And the diatomaceous earth has been working kinda. I'm definitely still seeing pests come back, especially, which I'm devastated about this. My Hoya linearis has aphids. I was gifted a huge Hoya retusa from someone, and they were kind of like, yeah, it's just, I don't want it. Someone gifted it to me. And I was like really excited. I thought it was like such a sweet, it had freaking aphids. And it gave my linearis aphids. And I threw away the retusa, but the linearis is really, really sentimental to me. Like really sentimental to me. So I can't throw it away. And I've been treating it and they keep coming back. So I'm going to keep treating it. I don't care. But anyway, so nothing's perfect, honestly. Like, and that was the problem I was having with the sprays too. You just got to you have to understand that like you're fighting against nature. You know what I mean? And so it's going to take time and you just got to be persistent. So, but yeah. How I got on that tangent, I forget. But next I have my variegated chia pens, Syngonium chia pens variegated. This plant is one of my faves. I love the unique shape of these Syngonium leaves. Like, I saw this at a friend's house when I was picking up a bundle from them, a planty friend, and their collection is amazing. But his is like huge, has it on a pole, beautiful. Was the first time I'd ever seen a Syngonium chia pens. I was like, what is this? I need it. This one I got from someone on Take a Plant, Leave a Plant. When I got it, it only had one leaf and the petiole actually like broke in the mail. So I was really upset, frankly. And I asked for a refund, but then I was like, never mind, because I did see new growth points. So I was like, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. Maybe leave a comment. What would you have done? How do you feel about, like, it's such a hard kind of thing. But I've always, like, if someone gets a plant and they're really upset, like I've had this happen on Etsy, I didn't feel like it was totally justified to give them a refund, but I did, because it's like, you know what I mean? I get it. You're upset. I know what it feels like to open a plant and you're really disappointed, whether it wasn't packed correctly or it looks different than like what they said it did, or like the pictures you received, whatever. Like, I really do understand how disappointing it is. So regardless, the new growth is great. It's putting out a third leaf. That third leaf looks like it has only a tad bit of variegation, but honestly, that's how variegation is. It's like the luck of the draw, and I usually have bad luck, but this half moon is like beautiful, and so that makes me happy and gives me hope. Okay. This is a Monstera mint cutting. This I also got from Take a Plant, Leave a Plant. When I got it, there was no crisping, but of course there's crisping in my possession. And I know that happens to older leaves. Leaves crisp. You know what I mean? It's a part of life. And so this was a steal though. I think this was like $65 for mint monstera. I don't care. That's a steal to me. I'm like trying to film kind of quickly because the sun is going down. Not that I feel like the sun is really doing much for me at this point. It's like more of the artificial lighting around me. So yeah, this Monstera mint, other than the little crisping, it's doing great. The roots seem to be very happy and, growing. So that's good. And I'm really excited for this one to get some fenestrations, and maybe I'll put it on a poll eventually. Okay. This is a cutting that I started from like a note or two, but the original plant is one that's kind of sentimental. I no longer have the mother plant because I'm pretty sure it got thrips, and I was just like, I just absolutely can't fucking stand this. Like, it was one of those plants that you just have to say goodbye to because, like, the pests won. And this was, like, I think my first time that I had thrips, and it was just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, my whole collection is being consumed. So, this cutting I did save, and it's a Monstera adansonii, and I got this. I'm on my 20th birthday. I'm 23 now, almost 24. But that was around the time when I first started collecting plants and really falling in love with plants. So 3.5 years ago, wow. Feels like much more than that. But that was kind of around COVID. Yeah, that was 2021. So, yeah. Anyway, this is like a makeshift trellis that I've made. And I think honestly, like when it goes up, I'm kind of just going to wrap it around and keep wrapping it around because I want it bushy, but again, I don't have a lot of space. So yeah. Okay. This is my variegated Milano Chrysum variegated. It's just sometimes the names are like, I don't want to sound silly if I pronounce it wrong, so I hesitate. So the variegation is kind of unstable. It's like one leaf variegated, one leaf unvariegated, variegated, unvariegated, variegated, unvariegated. And also this is one of the ones where the diatomaceous earth, I think because it's like a velvety leaf, it's having a really hard time coming off. But this is the new leaf. Pretty unvariegated leaf. This is a leaf that is variegated. It is pretty. I like it a lot. Variegated leaf, small leaf. Yeah. This one was pretty. This was like $80 at Root Plant Day. I know. It's embarrassing. I probably could have. Anyway. Okay. $60 Take a Plant, Leave a Plant, Burl Marks Flame. That was in the mail for over a week, but totally survived. Nothing bad happened. And I think it's really going to be happy in this potting mix. I repotted it today, and there was no root rot, but the potting mix was smelling kind of whack. Or was that? I think that was more of the my Monstera alba. I think this, but regardless, I think it's really going to like this well draining mix. And so it is a small baby Monstera Burromarks Flame, but the claws are gorgeous. And so I can't wait till one day I can show off my clawy little hoe. You know what I mean? I love her. I really do like the leaves, even the small ones. Even though mine's kind of whack looking, everyone's got to have a philodendron silver sword because it's an iconic plant. And mine's a baby. Mine was started again from like a single node cutting that I was given. And I'm pretty sure this one had thrips for a little bit. I think you can kind of see that's looks like thrip damage to me. Yeah. But the new leaf looks beautiful and perfect. And so definitely the thrips are gone from this plant, luckily. And honestly, I think like simply because of the fact that the ladybugs, there's some ladybugs in here, simply because of the fact that they're just like bigger, they will eat more. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. This is my Parasito Verde. Mine's kind of whack. It had 3 leaves when it was traded with me. I forgot what I traded for it, but it was on a moss pull, and then it was in like a small cup, not like a full, like not like a regular, not like, it was smaller than this, okay? And it got really well rooted in it. But you know, I think these plants, as I'm learning, it's one of those things, they're finicky. They want really specific conditions in order to have that signature variegation. But regardless, I really do like the structure of the leaf and how the margins kind of have that red outline. So I'm going to put on a poll and see how it does. Happy to have it in my collection, and I mean, the variegation isn't a huge deal for me on this one in particular, so she's pretty regardless. Strawberry shake. I bought this in a bundle, snipped it at the base, sold like a pup that was on it, and then the base has 2 small leaves now, so I'm gonna grow that one out too. And probably, maybe if, depending on how it grows, its growth pattern, maybe I'll snip it at the base again and like keep that other plant as like a mother plant to keep growing out and using to sell. Or maybe I'll just grow that or sell that base. I don't know. I'm having an interesting time navigating, not like interesting in a bad way, a fun time navigating like being a seller and, you know, thinking about how I'm gonna produce plants. Do I always want to buy plants from the wholesale greenhouse and sell those? Because those tend to be fuller, bigger, and more mature sometimes. There are starter plants too at the greenhouse that I pick up, but in general, they're bushier. Like I had a comment from a friend yesterday who's like, "Oh, how did you get this one so bushy like this?" I had like a 4-inch pot of, philodendron micans. She was like, "The one that I bought from you was like just a node, like a long, not one node, but like a long one vine." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I got that from the greenhouse, the wholesale greenhouse." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And so, some plants I think begonia in particular are great for propagation, like propagation, propagation, because they grow roots quickly, and they kind of, some of them adjust well. Like water propagation is good, and so, I think it's been interesting thinking about what plants I want to propagate, what plants I just want to buy because it's easier to do and I just want to have them readily available. So it's a little bit of both, definitely. But yeah, this is my strawberry shake. I know some people don't like the philodendron strawberry. Why am I like blurring my words? I know some people aren't, huge fans of the strawberry shake or the pink princess, and they are a bit leggy, but like I don't give a fuck. I love them. I don't care. I love the variegation. I just love them. Pretty queen plants, pretty bitch plants. You know what I mean? Like the cuntiest plants of like that bitch plants. So anyway, um oh man, some of these like I forget the name, so it's like This is my philomicans. I'm doing a situation where, there was some thrips damage. I took those leaves off because I was like tired of you. And I'm like rewrapping the roots and pin them in so that, I can get a kind of more bushy plant. But the micans is such a beautiful plant. Like I want all of them. And I do have two variegated micans. One, the true pink elbow micans. That's reverting for me. And then today I was putting it on a pole and I snapped the new growth. And then I have the Aurea that I bought from Rare Plant Fairy, reverted, snipped it, new growth, no variegation. The part that I snipped, that I propagated to try and make another plant and see if that would be variegated, got aphids, had to throw it away. And so I bought a 35, I didn't realize it was a one node piece, to be honest. I think I did, wait, did she send me pictures? One of those impulse purchases. I don't think I was happy once I got in the mail and realized what I did. But that one's nicely variegated. I just rooted it, and so I put it in water and I put it in the main pot. I'll show you. And I'm praying that that one stays. And then, anyway, so love a good micans. The new growth is beautiful. The color of the new growth is beautiful. And then when you get that nice velvety sheen, when it kind of, hardens off, gorgeous. Like, easily one of the most beautiful plants. Easily a favorite of mine. So, yes, another micans here, another favorite of mine, Philodendron micans halo. I love it. We've got some diatomaceous earth on the leaves, but the new growth doesn't. So you can kind of see it's definitely a mutation, and so it's not going to be everyone's favorite. But I just think it's so unique. It's so cool. Someone said to me, like, it kind of looks like a Hoya leaf. And I do see that. Like, it's so cool and fun. And so, I love these. Hopefully you can see well. Oh, I should have started the video earlier. Okay, this is a philodendron fuzzy petiole that I got in a trade. I think it was like a free add-on, and it just won't size up. I'm really, really trying, but I don't want to give up on it, so I'm trying, but it's not really doing what I would like it to do. It's cute, but it's just not doing much. Okay. We've got my silver stripe philodendron. I have a 3-leaf cutting. One of those plants that grows really big, so I just wanted a 2-leaf cutting to grow it myself and see the process. Because I know before long it'll be huge. And so, yeah, I really like this. I have 2 big Brazils, so I am a fan of that that family of philodendrons. Then I have a philodendron El Chaco here. I have technically two plants rooting in here. I got this as a trade. I wasn't exactly happy when I received it because it was, in my opinion, really poorly packed. I don't know, I always get worried Rosen's gonna see this. I did ask for kind of like a resolution, like, hey, like, I feel like this really wasn't fair. And then I kind of just dropped it. And I was like, I'll just grow it out and hope for the best. So here it is. Maybe I'll insert a picture of what it looked like when I opened it. Because I'm pretty sure I gave the person like 3 plants. I gave them like a pretty decent size ring of fire. I gave them an alocasia silver dragon I had grown from corm, and I gave them one other thing. Maybe an El Campo vine, like a rooted one. Everything was rooted. And then they gave me this. And it was in much worse condition than it is now. And it's still not really even like full or, yeah. Like I don't see, I see a little bit of roots. Let me not be too hard. Okay. So that's doing its thing in here. This I got in a bundle. I think I got this with my philodendron strawberry shake, but this is a Monstera adansonii Indonesian mint. One of the leaves just yellowed, which is fine, it happens. When I got it, it had another leaf. It was big, it was beautiful, perfect, gorgeous variegation. This variegation is like not anything special in my opinion. It's still like a pretty plant. Some people say it looks really sickly. Like it can, but I still enjoy it regardless. But it was just like the most gorgeous, big leaf, perfect variegation. I went to cut it. I take a cutting because I wanted to propagate another piece of it. And it was just a single leaf. And I was so upset because like I wanted to sell the cutting, but I ended up selling that leaf because that was like the base leaf and it was very heavily rooted. And so I was like, I guess I'll be propagating this for myself. Because I wanted to keep the bottom cutting, but with 2 leaves, not 1. I don't know. I'm weird. I have weird preferences and vibes sometimes. You know what I mean? Okay. This is my Maiken's Oreo. So these two leaves right here were the originals. So it looks gorgeous. And then this is the first leaf it put out. Zero variegation. Zero variegation. It actually had, no, it put out a third, no, yeah, I forgot actually. It put out these, this was the two it came with, and then it put out more, and it had one little streak of variegation and then like nothing for 2 leaves after that. So I decided to chop it, and it's still kind of just not vibing. So then I decided to buy this single node, rooted it, and it's in here now, and so we just pray. This is my Scindapsus mariposa. She's that girl. Like, she's that girl. She knows it. She's that girl. Does she look like what her best potential could be? No. Do you look like what your best potential could be? Worry about that. She's got 2 leaves on the way, though. Don't play with her. Don't play. Thank you. On the way. On the way. On the way. They're on the way. Yeah. Yeah. On the way. Yeah. On the way. So corny of me. This is an Anthurium Bessie Affinity. Bess Affinity. I forget. But when the new leaves come out, see, like, this leaf is a little crispy. It was it was one leaf in the mail. It was a chunk in a leaf with roots. And so this leaf had to acclimate, you know what I mean? It was in the mail, had to acclimate to my new space. So she is crisping a little bit. But don't underestimate the power. Okay? She has new growth. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. So stay tuned for updates. You know what I mean? Because she's really Gorgina. Especially when she came in and she wasn't yellowing yet. She was really Gorgina. We got a Florida ghost mint type of situation vibe. This little starter was $7 because it was like rotting. It had been at the greenhouse all season. And I love a good starter project. So it's been doing well. Thought like someone knocked on my door, but anyway, it's doing well. She cute. Yes. Yes. Okay. We got this Alocasia Mellow. Alocasia Mellow. LOL. We got this Alocasia Mellow. I'm pretty sure it was one leaf when it was given to me. I think I got this in a trade. You know I love a good trade. But I usually don't do trades anymore. Because the greenhouse that I go to has such a good selection that I could really get I could usually find what I'm looking for. And if they don't have it, it's literally at the greenhouse being propagated. Because sometimes they'll have like really small plants, but they're not for sale because it's just like they feel like they're not ready yet to be sold, which respect. This is a, I don't know why I just smelled it. This is an alocasia silver dragon, even though it doesn't look very silvery. It's a starter. Started this from corn. She's thriving. She's thriving. God, I hate when it gets dark early. Oh my. Dude, this is my luck. Just my luck. When you cleaned it today, you get dirt all over the base. You know what I mean? Like, ding. Dang, dang, dang. I think the other part is because I'm so silly, and when I put these hooks up, I didn't even fully. Oh, I see a green lacewing larvae, but it's on the outside of my Milsbo. So that's hilarious. On the back. Okay. Who haven't I shown over here? Oh, okay. We've got my philodendron white knight. She cute. Whoa, she cute. She cute. She cute. She cool. Yeah. She cute. We got my painted lady, one of my favorite philodendrons, honestly, because I just think it's so cool and unique. She's unique. And we got the like pink veining and petiole. Love her. And we've got my Monstera Albo. I got this. It had 4 leaves. I had to cut 2 off. And 1 grew. So we got 3. She's beautiful though. She really is. Like beautiful variegation. And so I'm just trying to treat her right. I gave her a pull today. I feel like the light isn't doing it justice. All right. So we've got this Rhapsophoria tetrasperma, which now the sun is really down. So I'm sorry, the lighting is like not ideal. But this Rhapsophoria tetrasperma, it was such a long story. I got a cutting for $40 off off Take a Plant, Leave a Plant, Reddit. And then I got it, it was rotting. And then I asked them for another cutting, was rotting. Not, all the roots rotted off that it was sent with. And it just wasn't what I thought I was getting. They did end up refunding me and then blocked me. But, so there was more leaves, but they crisped and died. Yeah, but it's a chunk, you know what I mean? It's like growing new leaves, which is interesting, and like it's just now starting to put out like a root maybe right there. But Yeah, so when I went to the wholesale greenhouse and found this for only $50. You understand why I was so patient. You can see it's just Gorgina. They're just so cute. Easily one of my favorite plants. Yeah. We've got over here my philodendron billietiae. Definitely had thrips a couple weeks ago. It's since seemed to have gotten rid of them. I completely stripped it. New soil. Did some diatomaceous earth, and now a couple days ago I put some predatory mites in here, which it seems like, excuse me, most of the diatomaceous earth has been washed off. So for example, it's not killing the ladybugs, but yeah. Oh, yay. It looks like the green lacewing larvae got in. Which is exciting. Look at me being excited about bugs. Not typical. Definitely like a new thing for me. Oh, before I put this in, I guess I'll show you guys my kind of sad philodendron Oreo. No, philodendron pink. Excuse me. Yeah, wow. Philodendron pink. Okay, I need to wrap this up, so I'm gonna try and go quickly. But this is my philodendron micans pink elbow. That's reverting. And I snapped up the new growth this morning, so maybe that'll zhuzh it up. But I did want to put it on a pole so that those leaves continue to be as big as the one node that I bought for a price that I will not disclose. I do feel like, well, it was less than $200, so let's put it that way. Which, dude, they're selling like a 3-leafer on Rare Plant Fairy. No shade. They have great selection, but it's like $1,000. No, it's almost like 2,000, I think. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous plant though, so can't even be mad. Okay, and I think this is probably my last plant, but this is a philodendron Brill Marks. It is definitely wet because I watered it a lot today. This started as like a single, like little tiny plant node. And it just has multiple growth points. It's very bushy. It's very beautiful, very happy. So happy to have it. I got that in a trade. What the trade was, not quite sure. But, you know, happens. I just don't like it's sitting in water, which is making me nervous. So definitely needed to empty that. Okay. One of my fave babies, easily. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy making this content and also being able to look back on it myself. So let me know what you think of my Milsbo low planty cabinet collection. It's mostly philodendron with some kind of random stuff sprinkled in. Um, and let me know what your favorite thing was. And let me know what you would like to see. Let me know what you would add to your collection from this cabinet, what you have, care tips, if you have plants and you think you could help me out. But yeah, definitely engage with me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one.